Welcome back, everybody. Silas here today, out at the junkyard. Let's crush some cars. I was out here all day yesterday, crushed quite a few cars. Actually, I don't even remember what all I crushed now. Mostly common cars, nothing really all that special. The only unusual car that I did crush is I crushed that little Daewoo Lanos. I'm probably saying that wrong. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but that's a pretty uncommon car for being in Kansas. We are making some progress in here. Let's get this gate open. Of course, I want to come in here and show you guys around, and the train parks right there. Oh well. But yeah, like I say, making some pretty good progress. If you guys have been following along, you know my goal is to get this road open. This used to, well, didn't really used to be a road, but there's a gate over there, kind of straight that direction. So I want to blast a hole through here. You know, actually, let me go see if I have battery in the drone. Maybe I can do a flyover. It's not that windy today, and so I'll kind of show you how right here in this line there's a gate at the other end of this, and so I want to be able to access that gate for emergencies. I've got the main gate where we come in at, but I want to have a secondary gate. That way, if for some reason maybe they're doing road construction, or maybe that road's blocked, or maybe somebody's vehicle dies in the driveway and we can't get it moved in time and we have to get something else in here or out of here really quick, it's always good to have 2 points of entry or exit. So we're going to keep going that way. Some of these cars up here are kind of overlapped, kind of funky. I was hoping not to have to worry about this row over here, but like that S10, I'm probably gonna have to get it down. Well, I might be able to get it down once this stack's gone, but I am gonna widen it up a little bit. I have this car sold. This Roadmaster Derby guy wants it, and then I've got this Miata on top. I had a guy asking if I had any Miatas. He said he'd buy every Miata I got for double crush price. Whatever it's worth for scrap, he would pay double that. But now I can't find his info anywhere. So that's the problem when you get hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of emails and messages of people wanting stuff. It's just impossible to keep track of it all. So I guess I'll set it aside for a little bit, and if I can't find his info, we'll stick it in the machine. But yeah, I want to widen this up just a little bit. That way it's enough to where I can carry cars out and I don't have to carry cars way up in the air over the top of all this stuff. I might get rid of this stack right here on the corner. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how the day goes. First thing I want to do though is pop this tailgate off. It's got some damage. It's got a couple dents. There's a dent down there. And so yeah, right over here there's a dent, and it's missing the plastic piece off of it. So I mean, normally I would just leave this on here and crush it, but I had one of these that was pretty nice that I sold on Marketplace, and the guy asked me, why is it so cheap? Is this a scam? And I said, no, why? So he came and got the tailgate, and after he paid me for it and loaded it in his truck, he says, you realize that the second cheapest tailgate of the 2007 to 13, I think, that he could find, he said was about $600, and it was down in Oklahoma. He said he couldn't find any, and I sold that one for 150 bucks. And he says that was insanely cheap. I thought it was a scam, is what he was telling me. Maybe this one will sell. It all works fine, and there's no rust. It's just kind of beat up. But if somebody had an old dumper in her truck or something like that, somebody might want this one too. So I guess we'll pull it off there, see what happens. Well, man, can't get the door open. All bound up in the fender. There we go. Yeah. Good crate. We'll use that. I can always use crates. Bunch of lug nuts. Anything else good in here? What's this? Oh, some welding wire. That's good scrap copper. Looks like a router. Just scrap, but we'll save it. Yeah, looks like we're good there. So now we can shove a couple tires in here. For those that wonder what I'm doing, think I'm ripping somebody off, I'm not. We're allowed 4 tires per car. As you can see, that is the only tire that's going to be in this vehicle. Man, this door, whew, there we go, bound up big time. But like this one here has got 4 on it, so there's none in it. That thing up there, there's none on it or in it. The truck underneath, there's none on it or in it. And so really, they're getting better quality loads than what they're paying me for. So when I get scrap tires like these, a buddy that had these in his backyard, he just wanted them gone, so he brought them out, dumped them off. I can shove these in the cars and get rid of them. You know, it's crazy to me to think just how expensive this vehicle was at one time, and now it's just worthless. This is probably an early mid 2000s Lincoln Navigator. Not just anybody could afford to buy one of these once upon a time. That's not like a high-end vehicle or nothing like that, but I mean, you had to be at least middle class to afford something like that when it was new. And now it's just another crusher. I don't know if there's anything good left on this truck or not. We'll find out. We'll get it out of there and rip open the hood and see if maybe it's got a motor or a tailgate or something. It's got an engine in there. It don't look too whoopy though. The intake's gone. It's all stripped out, all rusty inside. So I think we're gonna leave it right there. Tailgate's all rusted out and beat up and mangled. So I think this is a good crusher. I don't know if these emblems are worth anything or not. I know they make these new, so I don't know if they're worth anything. And here's something kind of interesting, some sort of blue light. Yeah, both emblems are good, so I guess we'll go ahead and save those. So there's a few goodies on it. Oh, it's just a 305 anyway. Definitely a good place for that motor. Look at that dust. That's the tail end of it. It was worse a second ago. It is getting windy out here. Got a quick intermission in this video. I'm out here at my place, left the yard a little bit early today. I've got to dig out a cab and front clip that are on a frame with the engine and all that. Sean's gonna come out here and pull those apart later, probably Thursday I'm guessing. I've got a guy coming Friday to pick them up, and I told him they were ready to go. They are in fact not ready to go as of this moment, but they will be ready to go before he gets here. This will only take a second, and then we'll be back out at the yard in the morning. And there she be. It won't take too long to knock this off the frame. The engine, I believe it has 235 under the hood, so hopefully I can do something with that. So the only damage is back of the cab here. It's going to need some work back here, but it's a pretty solid truck. Just little itty bitty tiny spots of rust here and there. It's got a good patina to it. Lots of potential here. Glad to see it going to a good home. Hopefully I find a home for this thing. I'm tired of it sitting here in my way. I got a title for it, 69 Comet. I thought it would sell pretty easy, but I guess it doesn't. Worst case scenario, we'll yank the engine and the transmission, pull the 9-inch out of it, maybe a few other parts, and then we'll stick it in the machine. I got to come out here probably later this week. I'll probably do a separate video about it, but I want to get rid of all this. I'm really thinking about bringing the crusher in here. I mean, I was supposed to do that beginning of spring and it never happened. But I am out of room. I don't know what else to do. Prices are down now. I can't ship the material, but if I could at least just get the crusher in here and smash it all and find a place to stack the bundles. I could even stack the bundles outside, I guess. I hate to stack stuff out front, but man, I don't know what to do. I got to make some room in here, but to get the crusher in here, I've got to get rid of all this and probably all this. But we'll worry about that later. I will see you back at the yard in the morning. Bonus, just dug this one out of the pile and ripped open the trunk. I saw this in there. I sell these things like crazy. If I can get it out of there. Oh, it's underneath that tire. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I sell these down in Texas all the time. People use them for all sorts of yard art and decoration. Oh, there's another one inside it. Yeah, decorations and you name it. Cool. I don't get a lot of money out of them, but I get about 20 bucks a piece. Will it fit out through the window? Maybe. No, not really. This one's a little bit broken. There we go. There's an easy 40 bucks. Don't see anything else good on or in this one, so I think it's ready for the crusher pile. I always thought these Chryslers were pretty cool. I mean, there's no value to them at all, but the two-door version anyway, the four doors are just junk, but the two-door version of these things, I always thought was kind of a neat 90s, early 2000s body style. But it's just another junker. There's an old Blazer there, bunch of good scrap. This right here is why we don't want the fire department or the college or whoever's practicing on our cars, we don't like them to do the frame cuts anymore. They used to do it all the time, and this is what happens. As you can see, this car is a wet noodle. I'm lucky that the engine isn't dropping down like that as well. I don't miss these days at all. Looks like there's a few more of these coming up in the pile, so I'm gonna have to deal with it a few more times. But now when they do it, they just pretend like they're doing the frame cut, but they don't actually do it. I'll have to set this on top of this car here. There we go. The Cutlass Sierra on top of a Buick Century. Well, 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 what do we have here? What's in the back of this S10 Blazer? Is that a Corvette? I think that's a Corvette. That is a Corvette. I found a Corvette in the crush pile. I can get her out of there. Let me put the camera down. There we go. We got a Corvette, probably a Power Wheels or something like that, but still, I haven't crushed a Corvette in quite a while, so that'll be fun. We'll make a crushing video or something. I don't know, maybe we won't. It's kind of neat, so maybe we'll do something with that. I'll set it aside for now until I decide. I got a lot of ideas rolling around in my head. I just happened to look here and saw it sticking out of the back. I thought, man, that's pretty cool, finding a Corvette in the crush pile. I have crushed Corvettes before. Like I say, it's been quite a while, and they were probably not even in this good a condition when I crushed them. Now your 80s Corvettes, those, I've gotten quite a few of those actually over the years. But the older ones out of the 70s, your Stingrays and stuff like that, and then your newer, up into like the late 90s and newer, I never get those. Like I say, I shouldn't say never. I have gotten them before, but they've always been extremely rough. And I've never gotten like your early split windows or your originals or anything like that. But hey, that's pretty cool. I guess let's check out and see the progress we're making. I got a whole bunch of old cars right here, so I'm gonna have to keep going this direction. I don't have time to mess with these right now. A lot of these just have a handful of parts on them. Some of them are pretty well complete, so it's just kind of a mix. Eventually I'll make a place where I can put all these where they're out of the way, but for now they're really not in the way. I'm just gonna keep crushing this row of cars right here. And then I've been getting a few out of the pile that I thought maybe I'll do something with, try to sell some parts or something, I don't know. I've got 21 and a half loads crushed and stacked, and I've got enough for probably 3 loads of cars ready to go now, ready to crush. So, I mean, I'm gonna have tons of loads on the ground. Like this Jimmy 4x4, this is a 5-speed. This is probably a late 80s, I'm guessing. I mean, I'll for sure save the 5-speed and the clutch setup and all that, but I don't know, maybe there's some other good parts on here. I guess I can list it on Marketplace. And then just got this Olds 98. Does this have the digital dash in it? It does have the digital dash in it. So yeah, that'll probably be some good stuff there. Plus this car here was sandwiched in between 2 other cars, And obviously it was still being driven when it was wrecked, so I think it was pretty well protected, so it's probably still good. It still has shiny paint on it even, which is hard to believe for a car that's been sitting for a decade. It's actually kind of wild that it's still got that good of paint on it. This side's not as good. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots of good stuff on that. Then I got this Miata out of the pile. This was on top of that station wagon. That station wagon sold to a derby guy. This here, I don't know, the drivetrain parts, rear end, transmission, engine. Some of that stuff might be worth something to somebody. Then we got an S10 Tahoe. I really like the color scheme on this. Kind of that grayish light blue color with the dark blue above and below it. This is a bucket seat truck. Probably because it's an extended cab. There was no driver's window in it, so it looks like it's pretty rough on the inside. Just an automatic. So, I don't know, but like I say, I've got a million loads on the ground, and I'm going to have even more here pretty soon. So I think we're going to shift gears and do things a little bit different. I don't want to stop working on this. I want to keep right on working, but I may just slow down a little bit. Stuff like this, I guess I can throw it on Marketplace for a couple weeks. That's what I've done a couple times, like that little Mini Cooper that's out there. That's been on Marketplace for about 2 weeks. Just, I put them on there, and after a couple weeks, if they're selling parts pretty regular, I'll leave them on there. But if they've not really had much interest, I'll go ahead and crush them. I've got this Focus SVT. I crushed one of these already, and everybody's like, you can't crush those. Those parts are worth a fortune. So I saved this one, so we'll see if anything on it is worth anything. Little 6-speed cars. I think it's a 6-speed. The other one was. Yeah, it's a 6-speed. I can see that's some dark tint on there. That'd get you pulled over in a hurry now. So yeah. Oh, I got this Blazer over here too. So I guess I'll list some stuff on Marketplace. Kind of got some cool wheels on these little Batwing wheels. They were really cool back in the 90s anyway. I don't know if they're still cool or not. Honestly, probably what'll happen is I'll list these on Marketplace, and I'll have a whole bunch of flakes and people wanting stuff for $5 and $10 and just wanting to come look at stuff and then not buy anything, and I'll get really burned out and I'll delete all my listings and start crushing again. So, oh well, let's go check out what's going on out here. Like I say, all these cars are 100% ready to crush. Ready just to grab them, stick them in the machine, one after another. There's enough here for one, probably 2.5 loads. There's that S10 over there, or actually it's an S15. He just got done pulling parts off of it that I wanted, so it can be crushed after the wheels. And there's 3 more over there that are ready to crush. So yeah, it's coming right along. That truck there, I still got to pull the cab off of. I ought to bring my torch out here next week. I don't know. I got a lot of ideas in my head. We'll see what I do. It's just so dry. I'm a little bit nervous about bringing the torch out here. They just said on the radio a minute ago that Reno County, which is where I'm at, Harvey County and Sedgwick County, which are to the east and southeast of here, are in an extreme drought emergency or something like that. I forget how they worded it, but the only 3 counties in the state. Everybody else is either at risk or it's not at risk at all. But us, we're in extreme emergency. Just got this little race car in as well. Little 4-speed it looks like. 4-cylinder, aluminum intake, 2-barrel carburetor. I bet that intake setup's worth a little bit of money. And I bet the transmission's worth something too, so we'll save all that. Yeah, anyway, I was saying that about the drought just because, man, it's just so dry out here. One spark gets away from you and it's going to be, I mean, even though it looks pretty green, because we did get a bunch of rain before, but all that moisture just disappeared. And if a spark got in this grass, whoo-wee, and all those pine trees up on top up there, or out there in the cars, man, it would just be a nightmare. So if and when I do, which I'm sure I will, when I do bring my torch out here, I'm probably going to come right out here in the middle, and I'll have to shut everything down while I'm doing it and do all my cutting right here. Then once I get whatever I'm done cutting, I'll just take it from there and I'll put it right here. That way it's still out in this dry dirt. Or better yet, hopefully we start getting some rain. There's a slight chance of rain this weekend, but man, just so dry, so dry. Well, with that, I think I'm done for today. I'll come back in the morning and we'll crush all these cars over here. There we go. 24 loads, crushed, stacked, ready to ship. Looking pretty good. All these bundles. I have all these lined up to where I can just grab them and load them. And I wish I would have started putting them down here, but for whatever reason I started right about, I think it was here. And so I had a bunch of space over here. Actually, I think it was that one there. And because I didn't plan on sitting on them this long, I was just going to ship them right back out. And so then I had all this open space. So I came in here and stuck a few rows in this direction, but I didn't have enough room to circle around because all those trees over there. So this row here is all facing this direction. And then I put one more load right here. I probably could have squeezed another load in right here, but I wanted to leave enough room to where if I move that truck bed, I can get in here and keep this mowed. That way the grass doesn't get tall right next to the bundles. I can keep a perimeter mowed around them. Yeah, lots of bundles crushed here, lots of cars. I'm not sure how many cars here, probably close to 300 cars, I'd guess. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I started trying to keep track, but then I lost count, and so that was that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It all turned out pretty good. Got a lot done. I had exactly enough cars ready to go to finish the 24th load. I mean, I didn't have one extra car left over. I have a few cars that are almost ready, but nothing that was completely ready. But with that, I have a bunch of work I've got to do out at my place today and tomorrow. I don't know if I'll film that or not. I'll just go out there and see how it's going. So I think I'm going to close this video out right here. We will be back at this yard on Monday and start digging in the yard again. I'm not entirely sure what all is going on next week. I know I have a few things going on. So just stay tuned for the next video. As always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Remember to get out there, find yourself an adventure. We'll see you on the next one.